I'm going to read a book here. All right, let's start with a page. Let me find a good one. Not too much, just something light. All right, I'm just going to read one excerpt from this, and you enjoy. There was one startling circumstance which went a great way in enforcing these observations, and rendering me anxious to turn them to account, and this was that, at every revolution, we passed something like a barrel, or else the yard or the mast of a vessel, while many of these things which had been on our level, when I first opened my eyes upon the wonders of the whirlpool, were now high up above us, and seemed to have moved but little from their original station. I no longer hesitated what to do. I resolved to lash myself securely to the water cask, upon which I now held, to cut it loose from the counter, and to throw myself with it into the water. I attracted my brother's attention by signs, pointed to the floating barrels that came near us, and did everything in my power to make him understand what I was about to do. I thought at length that he comprehended my design, but whether this was the case or not, he shook his head despairingly, and refused to move from his station by the ring bolt. It was impossible to reach him. The emergency admitted of no delay, and so, with a bitter struggle, I resigned him to his fate, fastened myself, fucking idiot, fastened myself to the cask by means of the lashings, which secured it to the counter, and precipitated myself with it into the sea without another moment's hesitation. The result was precisely what I had hoped it might be, as it is myself who now tell you this tale, as you see that I did escape, and as you are already in possession of the mode in which this escape was effected, and must therefore anticipate all that I have farther to say. I will bring my story quickly to conclusion. It might have been an hour, or thereabout, after my quitting the smack. Then, when, having descended to the vast distance beneath me, it made 3 or 4 wild gyrations in rapid succession, and bearing my loved brother with it, plunged headlong at once and forever into the chaos of foam below. The barrel to which I was attached sunk very little farther than half the distance between the bottom of the gulf and the spot at which I leaped overboard before. Oh, um, Before a great change took place in the character of the whirlpool, the slope of the sides of the vast funnel became momentarily less and less steep. The gyrations of the whirl grew gradually less and less violent. By degrees, the froth and the rainbow disappeared, and the bottom of the gulf seemed slowly to uprise. The sky was clear, and the winds had gone down, and the full moon was setting radiantly in the west, when I found myself on the surface of the ocean in full view of the shores of Lofoden, and above the spot where the pool of the Musketrum had been. It was the hour of the slack, but the sea still heaved in mountainous waves from the effects of the hurricane. I was borne violently into the channel of the Ström, and in a few minutes was hurried down the coast into the grounds of the fishermen. A boat picked me up, exhausted from fatigue, and now that the danger was removed, speechless from the memory of this horror, those who drew me on board were my old mates and daily companions, but they knew me no more than they would have known a traveler from the spirit land. My hair, which had been raven black the day before, was as white as you see it now. Not very white, but okay. They say, too, that the whole expression of my countenance had changed. I told them my story. They did not believe it. I now tell it to you, and I can scarcely expect that you would put more faith in it than did the merry fishermen of Lofoden. All right, anyway. Bullshit aside, let's do some sketching. So I wonder how many of y'all have ever seen what it looks like to look at something that you once knew when you were younger, but it has changed now that you have grown older. Has the experience ever shifted in something you've done before in such a way that it almost felt like an entirely new one because of the way that you have changed in your adulthood from when you were in your youth? You see, that's something of a nature that I think that we don't really always respect as we should. We maybe understand some aspect, something, but there is a detail that is lost to the sands of time. And I just wonder how many people question the manner in which we develop ourselves. The question that I ask you is, how long did it take before that change occurred? At what point in your life did you become a different person than you were? At what stage was it? Was it when 7 years? Was it just an act of different chapters being enacted? Was it a management of time and space? Or is there something else that is holding back the quells of the war? The things that are making you you, the questions that are answered only through time. I just wonder, what do you see when you look into the night sky? Who do you know? What do you want to know? How do you get to where you want to be? These are the questions that I wonder if you would ask yourself if you have the confidence in your own ability to even see them through to the end. Would you even ask these questions at all? Do you have the strength of character to even put such a indignation in your soul? Or are you just lost in the wind, questioning what it is that you want to be? Do you just wish and hope and pray that the serendipity will just magically take you where you want to go with no true effort given, with just a little bit of flair, a little bit of lazy, a little bit of dream? You think you're going to get there? Do you think that you're going to find something new through the sands of lazy from the comfort of your own home? Or do you think you have to go somewhere a little beyond? You have to strike into the heart of fear in order to get there. Because I don't think you're going to get there through the heart of sovereignty and ease and weakness. No, it has to come from pain, unbridled pain, unbridled darkness. The sweet serenity of evil must envelop the soul, or else you'll never find anything. You'll just be a lost candle in the wind, a broken spirit, evermore channeling sin. And what did I get banned? Like, what's going on, YouTube?